Okay, good morning everybody. Not much, how are you? Just to let everyone know, hopefully let me know if you're not okay with this. We don't have to do it this way. I'd like to record this lecture. I've just started recording actually, so if you don't want it I can turn it off. But I'm recording, you'll hear the audio from me. If anyone speaks, you'll be on it, which is fine. It's only for us, it's not going to be, for mass distribution. And it's basically just recording the screen on my computer. So once this class is done, I'll upload it to YouTube, and you guys can refer to it for whatever we do in this class. That way there's no delay. I'm sorry, there's always a delay between me getting it up, and I feel bad. So this will be it'll take longer, there'll be more pauses and stuff in the video, so it'll be longer, but you can always fast forward through that. So it'll be a longer video, but it'll be up immediately, and if you're okay with it, we can do this every class. So last class we got up to here, so hopefully everyone is able to, I see some people's screens, yeah, it looks like you're about at that level. So if you're not, even if you got only part of it done, you can refer to the video from last class, or if you have any amount of wall section done, I'm sure if you've done this much, you can do the rest. If you've done one window, you know how to do all of them. And so what we're going to focus on now is getting from the outside walls to the interior walls. Before we do that though, I'm going to focus on knocking out the bay window, and I'm going to start from the demising wall between the house and the garage. And from there we'll start to kind of describe the interior walls of the house. So let's go to our drawing. I'm going to zoom in on the bay window. Now we don't have a whole lot of dimensions for this bay window, but they do give us a few clues. So it's 2,430 across. And I guess that's all they give us. Okay. Do they give us anything in the schedules? This is a lintel, no. Window 103. Window 103, triple pane 2430. No, they don't give us much. So we're going to have to make a few assumptions. I'm going to assume that this window is on a 45-degree angle, and this window is on a 45-degree angle, and I'm just going to eyeball it. This looks like approximately half, so I would say that if we divide this distance into quarters, so from here to here, this is a quarter, that's a quarter, that's a quarter, and that's a quarter, that'll give us approximately the length of these things. So this will be 1 quarter long, this will be half, which is 2 quarters, and that'll be 1 quarter long. And since we know this is going to be 45 degrees, that should give us all the info we need. So I'm going to go back to AutoCAD, and now this distance, I'm going to type in DI and just check it. It should be 2340. Let me check that that's right. Yeah, 2340. Okay. Now I'm just going to, rather than doing it in my head, I'm going to try to show my work here. So 2340 divided by 2 is 1170. Sorry, we want to divide it by 4. So divided by that, so 585. So let's extend. What I'm going to do is extend this line, so it's a little bit, gives us a bit more to work with. Offset 585, and I'm going to offset the 4 segments. Now once I have that, I'm going to go to the outside face of the wall and draw a 45-degree angle. Now when everyone's drawing this line, are you able to see, does it snap at 45 degrees for you? You know what, I'll assume it doesn't, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's say it's not snapping at 45 degrees. I can hit, there's a little pie-shaped icon at the bottom here. And if I hit the arrow next to it, it'll give me a list of degrees that I can snap at. So I'm going to set it to 45, 90, 135. So I'll draw a line at the corner of the exterior face at 45 degrees till I intersect this line. Then I'm going to go vertical down and back to the start. Now I'm going to grab a window. Any window will do, so I'm just going to go up here and grab this one. Control C, Control V, paste it. And I'm going to start with the easy part. So I'm just going to go here and put it into there. I'll stretch it out so that it takes up the full length. Extend lines. There we go. So now that I have this part in, I now need to copy it and rotate it 45 degrees and shrink it to the right side so that it's this size. So I think the best way to do it, I'm not going to copy the whole thing. I'm just going to start by copying this mullion part. So I'm going to zoom into here, copy. I'm going to grab this part and move it to the top to here. Oops, wrong keyboard. Escape. Okay. Now that it's up here, I'm going to rotate it. So there's a little circle arrow button up here. Click that. I'm going to select the items I want to rotate. Click. And I can either snap to 45 or I can just type 45 degrees and it'll do it for me. Now, I'd like to draw the other side of this window so I can connect the lines. One thing isn't working out here for me, which is that this isn't going to line up. That's okay, so we'll proceed and we'll adjust as we need to. Okay, so I'm going to click the mirror button. Where is that? In here somewhere? There it is. So it's these two triangles. So I'm going to click this and mirror this on itself, like so. Oops, I have to do it again. Do you guys know how to use the mirror function, or do you want me to describe that in more detail? More detail? I'll take that as a yes. Okay. So I'm going to click the mirror button, and if in doubt, always read what it says at the bottom. So here it's saying mirror select object. So what do you want to mirror? So I'm going to click this rectangle and this one and hit enter. Now it says specify first point of mirror line. So if it's asking you to give it a line, and it's going to flip this object into that line. So I'm going to click the first point of that line here and the next point at the end. And now it has everything it needs, but it says erase source objects. So do you want to erase the stuff that you're mirroring? And I'm going to say no, I want to keep it. And now I have this. And so now I can move. Ideally I would move this to the end of the line. But if I do that, you don't copy what I'm about to do. We have a little problem here. So if I move this to the very end of the line, now our bay window is, are you guys able to see this? Should I make it darker? You okay, you can see it? Okay, so you can see this rectangle is now sticking out, and I wanted that to be flush with this. So what I need to do is move these two guys in, and then I need to mess with this to bring it to where I want. Maybe I'm gonna move this. No, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna say move, and I'm gonna pick all of this. And I'm gonna move it down to here so it lines up with that. And now I should be able to just adjust this guy forward a bit. Maybe not. What am I doing here? Sorry, that didn't work. Why is this giving us such a hard time? Okay, I'm gonna go back a bit. I'm gonna delete this guy. Sorry, I'm gonna try a few things here till I get it to work. Now I'm gonna pick all of this except for this line, and this line. I'm gonna pick this point and move it till it hits this line. That may be what we wanted. Okay, I think that's it. And now I can mirror this again. Sorry, I have to redo that step. So mirror this guy to here. My computer's just a bit slow here. What's going on? Okay, now I'm going to move this part down to here, and I think we're pretty much home free. So I'm going to delete all of these white lines. And I'm going to get my, let's go to my mirror layer, sorry, my window layer, glazing. And I'm just going to kind of connect the dots here. So this frame connects to here. The glass is attached to this central mullion. Okay, and this distance is offset by 65, so I'm going to offset 65 out, and now I can fill it to close that, like so. Let's see our window, are we following? They have that sill kind of tapering in. That's fine, we're close enough. So we're gonna go like this to close that sill off, and then fill it that part. I'm gonna do the inside sill as well. It's 143. Fill it this part. And now I'm just going to start closing stuff off. So I'm going to go to, I guess I'll stay on this layer. This will go to here. I'll do a straight part and then fill it this. And now I need to close off this. This needs a bit of blocking here. We're just going to draw it as a, how do they draw it here? As a triangle? It's tough to see, but yeah, it's, I believe it's just goes into the wall. So I'm just going to extend this line. like that. And here I'm just going to create a corner. I'll fill it that, and now I'm going to mirror everything I did so I don't have to redo it. I'm just going to grab the mirror button. I'm going to select all of this, and this, and this. Make sure you pick all of the stuff and mirror it over the central axis. Make sure you don't delete the source objects. What's up? I mirrored it over the wrong line, I'm sorry. One of our lines, this top line is longer than the rest, so that was the mistake I made. It may happen to other people. So when I mirror it, I guess I'll pick the middle line of the middle window. I'll mirror it over that, and that should be correct. More or less correct, yes. I just have to fill it one thing. Or this is an extra line, I guess. Let's delete that. Okay. And we can delete this. So it's a little labor intensive to do this bay window. You'll have this as a video, so you can always refer to it. But that's how I would draw it. There's slight variations you can do on it. You can decide to sink it in a little bit further or bring it out more. That doesn't matter too much. I think the key concept is that you have basically a combination of three windows. So there's a small window here, a large one here, and a small one here. And to square off the difference, you just make these trapezoid or triangular shaped wedges, which would normally just be wood blocking. So it's built out of wood, you put some waterproofing on it, and same here, similar triangles here. Okay, so we have our bay window finished. We can draw, I'll leave the fireplace for later. As long as you draw something there, you're fine. I don't think you have to worry too much about the details. As long as it's approximately sized correctly, the interior parts aren't that important. Because it's very rare that you would be doing a fireplace like this from scratch. You'd mostly just buy it as a prefabricated unit these days. So what is more important would be this part here, where the garage meets the actual house, because here we're changing from the 2x4 construction walls to 2x6. We want to make sure we get this correct. It looks like, how are they doing it? It looks like the structural wood part of this lines up with the structural wood part of the 2x6. Here it looks like the 2x6 lines up with this 2x6. So really what I'm going to do is extend this line all the way here, extend this line to here, and that should give us that corner. Then we'll offset it out by 140 millimeters, which should be, that's the width of that wood. And we'll connect it, we'll kind of tidy up these corners a little bit. And that'll give us the wall connecting the two. Then we can worry about placement of the doors. So back to our drawing. So I'm going to fillet the structural wood from here to the 2x6 from here, and that gives me that corner. Now from here I can offset 140 outwards, and now I'm really just trying to tidy this up. So in here I would trim this piece and this piece, oops, not that piece, and I guess make this line shorter.
How much is it up?
140. No problem. From those guys, and now I can extend the drywall to a corner as well. So I'm going to fill it those lines as well. Fill it here to here. And we can put drywall on the other side too. That's the finished house. So we would certainly have drywall. How deep are we doing this drywall? 19? 16. Offset 16. Fill it. Okay, so we have a wall separating the two. So I think now we can actually start moving in and doing details inside of the house. Now the drawings, they're a bit tricky with the way they give you the drawings. I'm not sure if it's intentional or it just happens by accident, but they always are missing a few dimensions here and there that then require you to do some deductive reasoning. You got to add up some math to get the right numbers. And I think that's their way of making sure you're doing the work. Like, you're not just copying it without thinking. So we'll do this together. We'll see how it works. Let's say we want to put this door in. So to get to this door, that's this. Give us a dimension. Okay, nice. So we'll have to guess from this wall. We'll have to say, let's say that's, I don't know, 3 structural members. 38, 38, 38. So we're going to say 100 millimeters approximately. That's all we can do to get that dimension for the start of the door. But before we offset from here to there, we got to get this wall. And now to get to the wall, this is what I mean about the deductive reasoning. To get this wall, we either have to add up all of these numbers, but if we're going to be adding them all up, we may as well kind of just draw them and get to this wall by offsetting lines. And in doing so, we'll end up laying out this this closet. So this closet, I know it's really random, this may be the best part for us to start with, since we're beginning in this corner. So I'm going to start off by offsetting down from here, all of those lines, offsetting out from here, all of those lines, and we'll see where we end up. So, let's get going. So we have 1852, 89, 610, 89. So offset 1852. So I'm going to go from the wood. I'm not going to offset. Sorry, I should explain this before I do it. These guys seem to have a quirk. These drawings seem to have a little bit of a quirk, which is that see here, the wall thickness here is 89 millimeters. But if you remember, the 2x4 is actually 38 by 89. So they're dimensioning to the structural wood. They're not counting the drywall. It's a bit unusual. I think for me, I would go to the drywall, but that's okay. So since they're going to the wood here, I would expect they're also going to the wood here, not to the drywall. So when I'm offsetting 1852, I'm going to offset from the wood to the wood. And that's how I'm going to proceed. So offset 1852 So from the wood, from the second line to here, then they want 89, and then I think it's in here 610 and 89. $610 and 89. So we have the depth of our closet, the front of it and the back of it. Now we need to offset from here going the other way. That looks, again, I'm going to go from the wood, 800, 89, 1400, 89. So offset 800 from the wood, 89, 1400, 89. Okay. So we got a whole bunch of lines now. We gotta kind of make sense of it. So they don't give us the distance from this wall to where this. They have the sliding door here. They don't really give us the indent here. So we're just gonna use our best judgment. Since they want 100 millimeters here, why not? Let's keep it consistent. So we're gonna go 100 millimeters in and 100 millimeters in to get that open. So basically I'm here, and before I start I could try to tidy things up a little bit so I don't get confused. These corners are real, this corner I'm not going to clean up because it connects to other walls. So I'm going to grab fillet, make sure you click multiple because you're going to be doing multiple corners at once, so you don't want to have to redo the command every time. I'm just going to start cleaning up these corners a little bit. There we go. Offset 100. Extend. Okay, trim. Trim and trim. Sorry?
No,
No worries. Is that your phone or is it my computer? Oh, is it? Okay, I thought my computer was freaking out. So we've got our opening for the closet. So we managed to get here. Now, since we're right now we're kind of trying to lay out the interior of the building. You know, these numbers are kind of at the front of our mind. Same with these numbers. You have two methods you can kind of do this with. One is you can stop and detail everything perfectly. So I can stop and start offsetting the drywall, putting the door, putting everything else, the shelf, maybe a label, so on, and then try to tackle another chunk of the house. But my preference, and everyone's different, but my preference is that when I'm laying out the walls and the numbers are kind of fresh in my mind, I'm just going to keep going with it till I lay out all the walls, because we did the hardest work on the outside. We laid out the exterior, and so as we're getting closer and closer to laying out all of the walls, the places left for us to make mistakes with numbers are fewer and fewer. So in essence, our job is going to get easier and easier. So if I can finish laying out all of the interior walls, great. Then I can actually start to relax. I can put on some music. I can grab a drink, whatever. And this it becomes so-called, I call it just monkey work, right? If you can get a monkey to do it, it's easy. But once you're down to offsetting drywall and stuff, it's just like, okay, this is going to be 3 hours and I'm done. I already know I can go on autopilot. I can start listening to podcasts, whatever. You can loosen up and have a better time. So I'm going to stick on the hard stuff and get us through that, and leave the easy stuff for you guys to do. I trust you know how to do that. Okay, so we're at this wall. I'm going to offset 1450 to get to this guy, and now that's going to allow us to plug in this door. So let's stick with that. So 1450 is what we need to do. So from here, offset 1450, Okay, and then I think that wall thickness is 89. Offset 89. Extend. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click it one more time so it extends right to the wood. And then I can trim that drywall right there. So we have our wall and we know a door is to the right. So I'm going to offset it 100. And then the width of the door is what? Does it give it to us? No. Great. D109. Let's check the schedule. Maybe it does. Door schedule D109 is 800 wide. So it does give it to us. Does everyone understand how I did that? So I'll do it. I'll just explain it really quickly. I got to this edge here, but now I don't know how big to make that opening. But if I look here at D109, we have a schedule on the side. So this door's name is D109. I'm going to go to the side. Lintel schedule, no. Door schedule. And door 109, whoops, I'm not going to highlight anything here, is 800 millimeters wide. And that's going to be the rough opening. So that's the size of the opening in the wall, not the size of the door leaf. That'll be a bit smaller. So I'm going to offset 800 to here, extend, and trim. Okay, so we've got this wall. Sorry, my throat's bothering me a bit here. Okay, now we're getting to the stairs. So we have this wall here. We don't know what length it is yet, but we do now. So 1852, and then offset 89. That'll give us this wall. Then we're going to start setting ourselves up to lay out the stairs. I believe that's the hardest part. So 1852. Offset 1852. And again, I'm going to offset from the wood, not the drywall, just to stay consistent. Okay, and offset that 89. And just so I don't confuse myself, I'm going to clean up the corners as I go. I believe that's a right angle corner we have here. Let me double check the drawing. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're now in this room here, and this is 3374 across and 89 millimeters, and then we'll worry about this later. So we know that's not a right angle corner, so we can let these lines extend a bit. So 3374. Okay, and these guys, we know they go right past it, so we're not going to turn that into a right angle. We're just going to, it's kind of a signal for when we get back to that area that we know that continues. But for now, we're going to focus on seeing if we can set up the stair any better. We might not be able to. I may have to continue laying out these walls and make my way around and approach the stair from the other side. I don't know yet. I'm going to see what I can do. So, we have this up to here. Well, we can do some of this. Well, we could lay out the stair. We know the offset here. But if we don't know how far to go this way, this is going to continue. We're not going to have a sharp end on this. So how will we figure that out? We know there's 14 risers. At 185, that's the height, so that doesn't help us. We need to know the length of the run. Maybe a different drawing will do. Oh, here it is. There we go. 12 runs at 265. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, there's more. 13, 14, 15. What's going on? I don't think you can have 12 runs. If you have 14 rises, you need to have 13 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's something a bit off there. But we'll go with it. So we'll draw what we see instead of, we'll use this number, 265. So we'll offset as many lines as we see, and we'll deal with that part later. It's going to take too much guesswork to start because we don't have a good idea where we're starting here or we're ending here. So I think for now the best thing to do would be to keep going with the walls, and we're going to touch on the stair once we have more. We filled in the rest of the puzzle a bit more. So we have this wall. I'm going to connect the 2x6 wall further to this to create a right angle, and then I'm going to offset here 100 and plug in another door. That's going to be a better way to approach this. Yeah, sure, go for it. How do you print screen?
Yeah.
What is it? Alt Shift something. Let me Google it. So Windows Shift S, I think. Windows Shift S.
Oh, alright, perfect. Thank you.
Did it work?
It worked. Alright, thanks.
Okay. So we are here. Now I'm going to cut this door into this wall. I'm going to offset that 100. No, sorry. I already offset 100. This is door 106. So let's see what door we're looking at here. 106 is 800 wide. Trim. Okay. So we now have this door in, and this wall, it looks like, so we have to make another assumption here. This wall looks like it continues in line with this wall. It actually looks like it's a 2x6 as well. Strange, but that's okay. So we need to know the offsets though. And this will give it to us. So we have this wall, so 2100 millimeters to get to these closets or whatever they are, and then 89, 610, and 140. So I'm going to set that up. Clean this up a little. So offset 2100. And then 89, 610, and then I think it was 140 millimeters. They had a wide wall at the back. Must be a structural wall or something, or a plumbing wall. I'm not sure. We'll find out. We offset our way to here. Funny walls. So I went 2100, 89, 610, 140. Okay. So it looks like, yeah, we're going to extend this wall up to here. And then we're going to offset down 432, 89, 1075, and so on. That's going to let us work out that space. So back to here. So we're going to grab a line, extend right through to here. Oops, wrong line. Okay, so we're going to offset this line by 140. And we can trim these lines here, because we know that this is a wall. It's a wall and it continues down and up, so we're just going to leave it but not behind. So trim here as well. And there is some kind of opening there. We'll deal with that later on. Okay. There's a 432 and then 89. Offset 432 to there, and then 89. And now we can clean this up. Add a line over there. Trim over here. And now 1075 to get to the bottom. Okay, offset that by 89. So we're at the bottom here. We're going to assume that these stubs are 100. We've already done that before, so we're going to stick with it. So our wall is now down to here. We're going to do these projections. And
Oh, sorry.
oh, no, that.
I can't put it on
And then we're going to do the corner.
That's not.
No worries. So fill it, I guess, this way. One more this way. Offset 100. Extend and trim. We've got a corner, we don't quite know where that corner is. It's not giving us any dimensions on it. Or down here it is. So we need to work our way further down to get to the end of this wall. So that's okay, so we're going to leave this unresolved for now. And we're going to continue this way. No, it'd be better if we went up to here to attach the rest of this wall to here. So we know we have this. So all we have to do is project it right to the end and it will attach. This is kind of a good strategy, I think, whenever it's gonna sound weird, but the feeling is whenever you're kind of laying out these interior things, sometimes you end up just like floating in space. Like we've kind of worked our way through here, and right now we're working in this bubble. But if we have a chance to attach it back to the outside, we should take it. Because when we attach back to here, we know for sure we're correct, because we know this is correct. This we don't know if it'll work out yet. We still have more numbers to deal with. So I think we take our chance, attach it to here, and then we keep working further this way. So I'm going to go back up here, extend this line, offset it by 89. It appears to change in thickness from 140 to 89. That's okay, so we'll just allow it to change right there. And then the door offset, again, we're going to assume is 100. This is door 105, and that door is 800 wide. Offset 100. Offset 800 for the door. Trim. Okay, so we've attached it to here. We can take it a bit further and clean it up just to get it to the structural part. There we go. And now we can continue. So we're here. This is all one big space. So we're going to offset 3035, and hopefully it will land on the corner of this wall. If it doesn't, that's when we need to start improvising a little bit. If it does, we offset an additional 89, and we extend downwards to get, and then we'll do all of this math to get to here. So 3035. So we're close. It didn't quite land where we wanted it to, but that's fine. I'm gonna just simply move this line to where I want it to be, and I'm not gonna worry about it. So my dimension from here to here will be a little bit different than the drawing, but we need to move this to the corner to have the rest of the drawing work out. And if small inaccuracies like that happen, it's okay. There's a few guesses we've had to make along the way, like dimensioning to the structural wood instead of to the drywall, and those mistakes may have added up to create some differences, but the drawing wasn't clear which one we should do. Therefore, we had to take a risk, and it's okay. You won't lose marks for that. So now we offset at 89. And now just to see, we're at the other end of the house. So we're right here. So just so I can see how close we are, I'm going to check this dimension to see if it's 3011. And if it's close, or if it's the same grade, then we can proceed further down. And we've already laid out all of this. There's still small details to fill in. Later we'll draw on the counters and the sink and that stuff. But that's again, it's another level of detail, smaller. And if we've done the bigger decisions correctly, we don't have anything to worry about. So 3011, we'll see where we are. So I'm going to type DI for distance. No, that's not what I wanted. DI 3011, perfect. So we're fine. So now I need to find out how far down I need to go to find this bend in the wall. We have this wall, but we don't know where the heck this thing comes in. And I think the only way to do it may be to add up all of these numbers. Well, this one lines up with that. This one lines up with this, which we have. In fact, we have the 89 as well. So actually, we don't have to do that much math. We simply from this wall go down to find this wall, and they line up. So I need to go 1387 down and offset by 89. So this, oh, hold on. Do we know what we're doing? Yes, we do. So this is not correct, that should be gone. And this is a bit, this should be up here. Oh boy, okay. I'm just going to correct a few things here. So this line continues here. See, I'm just trying to correct this. Right now I had this as just a little wall like this. And so I'm just extending it out to here and extending it out to here. So it looks a bit more like the drawing. Okay, now we look a little bit more like the drawing. So we are here, and we need to go 1387 down. Offset 1387. Okay, then we offset 89. And so this wall is in line with this wall. So for now, I know it's not correct, but I'm just gonna limit this and connect these two walls together. So basically what I've done is I've now drawn this as one huge wall, and all I have to do now is find out how much to cut out of here. So I need the distance to here, and here it shows me, that's 600. So I have to offset 600 to here, cut it, and then I offset 1489 to find the end of that wall. Offset 600. Okay, and then 1489. That should give us the edge. And I'm going to offset 89 more just so I can get the thickness of the wall. So I believe this is what we end up with. Here, these things connect. Extend. This one goes down, this one goes down, this gets trimmed, and this one gets filleted. And so does this. And that's kind of what this looks like. So we have this wall now. We have this drawn as one big room, so we need to insert a door. Now this door doesn't look like it offsets 100. It looks like it starts exactly in line with that wall. So we can throw that opening. We're not going to drill the door, we're just going to put the opening in. And now we've made our way down. Well, we can work this detail out after, but we're close. So door 104 is also 800 wide. In here, this line extends, offset 800, and trim. Okay. Now this room is 2179 and then 89. Two 179. 89. Okay, and it just has a sharp close. It has a little bit of a doorway there, but we'll worry about that after. So let's clean this up. Okay, now I can extend these lines in because I know there's a doorway here. And that doorway will give it another 100 offset. This is D103. D103 is 800. Offset 100 to get to the start of the door. Offset 800 for the width of the door. That's not 800. Offset 800. Go trim. Okay, so we've made quite a bit of progress here. We have this room now, and now we're kind of hitting the bottom corner of the house in here. And this is a family room. I'm just going to see if there's any walls in the corner here. I don't think there are. We don't have any work left to the left and down. So we're basically done up to this side of the house. And now we can get to work on this area here. And that's going to help us box in that stair, which is the last difficult thing left. So we have this, now we need to jump down. So it'll give us a distance, yes. 1289 find this wall. That'll help. And then we know, so we've already checked, actually this is a good number, that's going to help us a lot. Because we have already checked this number, 3011, and it was correct on our drawing. So we can trust this wall, and therefore we can offset from this wall 6159 right to there. So we know what 1200 down, 6159, and we found this last corner that we need to draw in. So offsetting 1200 down. Okay, fill it to clean this up. Okay, and this wall is quite long. We know it goes all the way somewhere up to here. So now I'm going to offset that by 89. And I'll double check to see this one is also 89. Good. Clean that part up. We have this now. No, this is not 89. This is 140. My mistake. So offsetting at 140 instead. Okay. Now, I think we're going to keep working our way this way, and that's going to again let us box in that stair. So, I need the dimension that gives us the opening. So, yeah, we may as well put the opening on our way to finding this wall. So, 1412, 1100, 1385. So offset 1412. The opening is 1100. And then this is 1385. Okay, extend. So I'm just going to throw in this opening before, oops, that's not what I wanted. Before I forget what it is. Anytime I see an opening, like a door or something, I don't need to draw on the door, but it's good to draw to make the cut. So you know that's where there's either an opening or a door or something like that. Then you don't have to go back and wonder what it was. So now I'm going to offset 89 for this wall and 2397 to get to the next opening. Okay. Just Zoom into here, trim that. Now, we are pretty close to the bottom corner of the house, so we have a bit more work to do going this way, but this is pretty close to this wall, and it'll give us another chance to tack it into the exterior wall, so that would be a good instinct to follow. There's an opening somewhere in this wall, so I'm going to just pause for a second, knock that out before I finish going the rest of the way. So this simply extends down, and 11152340. Okay, so extend this stuff, trim there, and so from here, offset 1115 to here. I believe the next one was 2340. Yes, it is. Okay, extend and trim. Now, just if we want to see how close we are, this is 1107. So this length should be hopefully on the money or close to it. 1155. So we're about 5 centimeters off, but nothing we can do. We know we've done everything correctly up until this point. We got to make a few guesses. Do we measure from the drywall or from the structural wood? But we've already made those decisions. We're going to live with that. We're not looking back. So this is why it's important as you draw, make sure everything you've done behind you is correct, or at least you've made some decisions and that's it. We're living with it from now on. And it's not like this is your fault. The drawing, in real life, that drawing is required to be clear, and there's a few inconsistencies. So we're okay. I'm going to clean up a little bit here, a little bit there, and then we're going to finish up that room. Just going to connect this wall to the other wall, and same thing here. Okay. This line is not relevant. So we have up to here. Let's move on. We have this offset 2397, so now I need 1450 to get that opening, and that wall actually goes right to the end, so I may as well extend it right to the end. And trim it. Okay, so 1450 offset, extend, okay, now I'm going to check this distance to see how close I am. 2374, 2346, so about 3 centimeters off. Again, we're going to live with it. So we're closing in on making the full circle. We've just finished up to this wall. So now I need to lock in this bathroom, vanity, and we're back at that shelf, that closet we did at the very beginning. So we've done the full circle and boxed in the stair, which is the last thing we need to do. Okay, so let's go. So we need to offset from here 1600 out. We already have this, so this is going to be easy. Okay, offset 89. Extend to there. Now we can do a little bit of cleaning up. Okay. And we have this door at the bottom. Door 102, 750 millimeters, so it's a smaller door. Offset 100, offset 750, extend, okay. So we've now drawn all of the walls that we need. The last thing we need to do is get this stair in there. So I think we have this wall, and we know where that door is. We can now offset 1200 millimeters up and offset another 100 to get this wall. And then we're going to close in on the stair. And actually it looks like this dimension, 1600, tells us where the stair starts. So for this wall, 1600 in gives us that first step. So this wall looks like it goes, well, I guess we don't have to worry about that. It starts in line with this corner, and that's where we're going to start. Okay, so that's that. And now we know the first stair is 1600. From here, there we go. Okay, so we've got our first step. Right here. Now, what I can do is I'm gonna set up that dash line as well, I think. So I'm gonna offset it, I don't know. We don't know what the nosing on it is yet. We'll do that detail later. But for this drawing, we can say it's, let's say, I don't know, 30 millimeters or something like that. 25 millimeters. So we're going to offset it, convert it to a dash line, and then I'm simply going to start copying this 265 at a time, all the way through until I get close to the end, and then I'll work out the end. So back to here, offset 25. Thank you. Change this to a dashed line. Just so I don't have to go back to it and deal with it later. Do we have dashed? Yes, we do. Dashed. Dash 2. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to type LT for line type. Load. Dashed here. Hit OK. And now it's in my list of stuff I can select. So now if I go back to this line, I should be able to pick dashed. There it is, dashed. But it's really tiny. So if that happens, don't worry about it. Just type in LTS. It stands for line type scale. And right now it's set to 1, so we're going to make that number bigger. I'm going to say 10. Maybe 15. There we go. Okay. Copy both of these. Doesn't matter where I click. I'm just going to click and aim to the left. 265. Okay. Repeat copy. And this time I'm going to select the base point on the previous instance so I can kind of leapfrog my way all the way through. If I get tired of doing that, I can just do a couple at a time. Make sure to always leave the first one unselected so you can use it as a leapfrog point. Okay, and I think that's about where, well, let's see. There's a little bit of something strange happening at this break point where the stairs don't align. So I'm just going to end this. I don't really have a clear starting point for this. I'm gonna end my stair wherever it wants to end, and I'm gonna align this wall, I guess, with the door frame. That's all I can do. So, all we can do here is align this wall like this, and I'm going to knock out this last step, and that's it. I'm going to leave the stair. Oh, I have a slight error here, so I need to redo some of this. Copy. And that's it. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. I can always add the break line later. That's a small detail. It's up to you where you place that. And it looks like we have basically laid out the entirety of the house. I'm just going to zoom out here. Okay. I think that's about as far as we needed to get today. We have, yes, correct. We've laid out all of the house. So, if you guys can get to that point, that's a good amount of progress. Now, what I'm not going to bore you guys to death with is showing you how to put in all of these doors. If you want me to, I can show it to you. But for these doors, I trust you guys know what you're doing. All of the openings that we left, you can insert doors into those. You guys feel comfortable drawing doors? Okay, if not, let me know, I can insert, no big deal. And that means next class, what we would focus on, I would focus on the stuff I haven't done with you before, stuff that you may not have any experience in doing. So we would lay out the utility room, some appliances, washer, dryers, kitchen. It'll actually go much more quickly than you may think, but if you try it on your own, you'll see it goes quite quickly. I wouldn't go nuts drawing, the way I would prioritize it is, if I'm drawing this, what happens if I run out of time and I have to hand it in right away? And so, that's a good way to sort of approach this, because if you're continuing to draw, the next biggest thing to draw in would be like some stuff like this, the kitchen and whatever, but not necessarily every individual burner in the oven, right, or the kitchen sink. It looks nice if you can put it in later, but I would leave those things to the absolute end. If you have extra time and you want to make it look pretty, wonderful. It's always appreciated, but don't make it the most important thing. So next class we'll lay out these areas. We would lay out the electrical. I'll show you how to do that. That's going to be relatively quick. Yeah, question?
Online says that the assignment's due Thursday. Is that early?
No, sorry, I need to move it. It's going to be next week. I'm moving it this week. Sorry, guys, yeah. I'll send it an announcement right now and move the deadline before this class is done. Yeah, sorry about that. So next class we focus on drawing in the kitchen and stuff. We draw in the electrical. We will draw, and the last thing we'll focus on doing together is drawing these tables. You don't have to focus on general notes and stuff, but I'll do one table with you guys, and then the other two tables are similar. You just kind of copy, paste, change the numbers. These symbols, I may just draw them and upload them to Blackboard, so you don't have to draw the electrical symbols and stuff like that. Actually, maybe we will draw some of it if you know how to do it. And that's it. So next class we should be able to knock out the rest. There will be, just to let you guys know, what I'll leave to you is doing the dimensions and the notes. You already have experience doing that, so I trust you'll be okay to follow along with the notes and the dimensions and stuff like that. Symbols like this, L6, W, whatever, I think you'll be okay drawing that. And we're pretty much there. So, any questions about what we've done today? Or any point up to now? Okay. I'm going to stay here for the rest of the class, so if you have any questions, please ask me. That's what I'm here for. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. And thanks for coming in.